Welcome to our deep dive, and today we're going to be looking at gratitude journaling and how it connects to CBT.
Yeah, that's right.
So we've got some research here, some practical techniques, and you seem pretty interested in figuring out, like, how can you harness this power of gratitude
Right.
to have a more positive, just a more fulfilling life.
Yeah, that's the goal.
So we're going to dive into all that.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So let's unpack all of this, and we can start with the science of gratitude.
Right.
We hear all this stuff about, gratitude is linked to happiness and well-being.
Right.
But, like, is there any evidence to support that?
Oh, yeah, tons.
Okay.
There's been a lot of research that shows that there's a very strong connection between practicing gratitude and increased happiness, reduced stress,
Okay.
and even improved physical health.
Wow.
One study even found
Really?
that participants who wrote gratitude letters for just 3 weeks experienced a significant increase in their happiness levels. Like, we're
Right.
talking 10%.
10%.
10%, and that effect lasted for months.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is actually going on, like, in our brains when we express gratitude? Is there, like, a biological reason why we get this boost in happiness?
There is.
Okay.
When we express gratitude, our brains release dopamine and serotonin, which are these neurochemicals that are associated with pleasure and well-being.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's like giving yourself a natural mood boost.
Okay.
But what's even more fascinating is that gratitude doesn't just create, fleeting feelings of happiness. It can actually lead to structural changes in the brain.
Wait, structural changes?
Yeah,
That's wild.
it is.
So what do you mean by that?
Well, studies have shown that gratitude can actually increase the volume of gray matter in the hippocampus,
Okay.
which is a brain region that is vital for memory and learning.
So it's impacting our memory, too.
It also impacts the prefrontal cortex,
Oh, wow.
which is involved in decision-making, emotional regulation, and social behavior.
So it's basically like we are rewiring our brain for the better
Exactly.
by practicing gratitude.
Yeah,
And it impacts not just how we, like how we feel, but also our cognitive abilities and even how we interact with others.
exactly.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and this is where the link with CBT becomes really clear.
Okay, so let's talk about that connection.
Sure.
CBT is all about changing those negative thought patterns, right?
Right.
So, like, how does gratitude fit into that whole framework?
Well, think of gratitude like a spotlight that helps us shift our focus
Okay.
from what we lack to what we have.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This shift in perspective is fundamental to CBT because by recognizing and appreciating the good in our lives,
Right.
we can start to challenge those negative thoughts
Yeah.
that can lead to anxiety and depression.
So it's not about ignoring the problems.
Right.
Or pretending like everything's perfect.
No, not at all.
It's about choosing to acknowledge and appreciate those positive parts of our life, even, like, amidst the challenges.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so that's a pretty,
Yeah,
that's a crucial skill to develop
it is.
if you're trying to overcome those negative thoughts.
Yeah, it's like building a mental muscle for positivity.
Okay.
And the more you practice, the stronger it becomes.
Yeah, I can see how that would be really empowering.
Yeah.
But where do you even begin?
Right.
Like, if you're new to all of this, is gratitude journaling a good place to start?
Oh, it's an excellent place to start.
Okay.
It's a simple but powerful way to cultivate gratitude on a daily basis. And the best part is it doesn't require any fancy equipment or any special training.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Because I think some people might feel kind of intimidated
Right.
by the whole idea of journaling. Like, maybe they think they need to be a great writer
Yeah.
or have these profound thoughts to share.
Right, right.
So what would you say to that?
Well, gratitude journaling isn't about, eloquent prose
Right.
or deep philosophical reflections.
Okay.
It's simply about taking a few moments each day to acknowledge and appreciate the good in your life, no matter how big or small.
Okay, so if someone's feeling, like, overwhelmed or uninspired,
Right.
where would you suggest that they begin?
I always recommend starting with the basics.
Okay.
Get yourself a notebook, a pen, find a quiet spot where you can focus for a few minutes.
Okay.
And don't worry about writing a novel. Just jot down 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. It could
Okay.
be anything from a delicious cup of coffee
Right.
to a supportive friend
Uh-huh.
or a beautiful sunset.
Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty manageable.
Yeah.
It's like creating a little pocket of time in
Mhm.
your day to just intentionally focus on the positive.
Exactly.
What if someone feels stuck?
Right.
Are there any like prompts or techniques they could use?
Oh, absolutely. And that's what we'll be diving into next.
Okay.
But first, we wanted to make sure that, you have this solid understanding of,
Right.
the fundamentals of gratitude journaling and how it works with these CBT principles.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's important to build that foundation
It is.
before we move on to the more advanced stuff.
Exactly.
We were talking about starting with the basics of gratitude journaling
Right.
and finding those little nuggets of good in everyday life.
Yeah.
So let's explore some more advanced techniques
Okay.
that can add a little more depth to this.
All right.
Okay, so one that comes to mind is gratitude letter writing.
Yes.
Have you ever written a gratitude letter to someone?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a powerful experience.
Yeah.
What about you?
You know what? I haven't.
Really?
I've sent thank you notes,
Okay.
but never like a full-blown letter
Cool.
dedicated to gratitude.
Gotcha.
So what's the psychology
Yeah.
behind this?
So it's about taking the time to truly acknowledge and appreciate the people who have enriched our lives.
Okay.
And instead of just thinking about how grateful we are,
Right.
we're putting those feelings into words,
Yeah.
which can intensify the positive emotions and strengthen our relationships.
So it's like going from just passively feeling grateful to like
that's-
actively expressing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the act of writing itself can be incredibly therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
It allows us to reflect on positive memories, savor those moments of connection,
Okay.
and perhaps even gain a deeper understanding of how those relationships have shaped who we are.
I can see how that would be really powerful.
Yeah.
Do you have to send the letter?
That's a good question.
Or is it just the act of writing that is
Yeah.
good enough?
So while the act of writing can be beneficial on its own,
Okay.
actually sharing the letter with the recipient can take it to a whole new level.
Okay.
It allows us to express our gratitude directly
Right.
and potentially brighten someone's day, and it can strengthen the bond between you.
So it's like a ripple effect of positivity.
Yeah.
Starting with us and then going out to other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So that's gratitude letter writing.
Okay.
And then another exercise that we can do is future-focused appreciation.
Okay, this is the one where you're grateful for things that haven't even happened yet.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one.
Yeah, it might seem a little strange to be grateful for something that doesn't yet exist,
Right.
but it's a very powerful technique for cultivating hope, excitement,
Okay.
a positive outlook on the future.
Okay.
So imagine yourself a year from now.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Okay.
What goals have you achieved?
Yeah.
What experiences are you enjoying?
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Okay, good. Now focus on the aspects of that vision that fill you with gratitude.
Okay.
Maybe it's landing your dream job, traveling to a new country.
Or simply feeling a sense of peace and contentment in your daily life.
I can see how, like, envisioning those possibilities
Yeah.
and allowing yourself to, like, feel grateful for them
Yeah.
could be really powerful.
It can be.
It's like you're planting seeds of gratitude
Yes.
for the future, you know?
Exactly. And by focusing on what we're looking forward to, we're shifting our attention away from worries and anxieties about the unknown.
Right.
And we can foster this sense of optimism and resilience.
So it's like choosing to focus on the light at the end of the tunnel,
That's a great way to put it.
even when you're still in the darkness.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got that.
And this technique can be really helpful when you are facing challenges or setbacks instead of dwelling on what's wrong.
Right.
You can shift your focus to those future possibilities that fill you with gratitude, reminding yourself that brighter days are ahead.
It's like an anchor to keep you grounded when things are tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
So now let's talk about how we can use gratitude
Okay.
to directly challenge those negative thought patterns that CBT aims to address.
Oh.
This is where the synergy between these two practices becomes really potent.
This is something I think a lot of people struggle with. You get caught in these loops of worry and self-criticism and just like negative self-talk.
Right.
How can gratitude help us break free from those patterns?
Well, think of gratitude as a mental reset button.
Okay.
When you find yourself spiraling into negativity,
Mm-hmm.
take a pause and shift your focus to something you're grateful for.
So you're just like redirecting your attention.
Exactly.
Instead of focusing on the bad, you focus on something good.
Exactly. It could be a simple pleasure,
Okay.
a supportive relationship, or a past experience that brings you joy.
It's like you're using gratitude as a weapon
Yes.
against those negative thoughts.
Yes.
Okay.
And with practice, this becomes more than just a technique. It actually starts to transform the way you see the world.
Okay.
You become more attuned to the good, more resilient in the face of challenges,
Right.
and more capable of finding those glimmers of hope, even in difficult situations.
It's like you're training your brain to just automatically look for the positive,
Exactly.
even when there's negativity around.
Yeah, and that's what makes this combination of gratitude and CBT so powerful.
Right.
We're not just managing symptoms. We're fundamentally changing the way we think and feel.
It's like a holistic approach to mental well-being.
Exactly.
You know, you're not just treating the symptoms, you're getting to the root of the problem.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I really like about gratitude journaling is that it is a really personal practice.
It is. There's no right or wrong way to do it.
Yeah, and in our research, we found that a lot of people, you know, have different approaches and techniques.
Right.
Some people prefer structured prompts, daily entries, while other people like to just free flow.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You find what works for you.
Exactly.
Experiment, explore different methods, and trust your intuition.
It's about making it your own.
Yes.
Yeah, and integrating it into your life in a way that feels good.
Exactly.
And
remember, this is a journey, not a destination.
Right.
There will be days when gratitude flows effortlessly.
Yeah.
And days when it feels like a struggle.
That's so true.
Yeah.
You know, life has its ups and downs.
It does.
Our emotions are going to ebb and flow.
Exactly.
But I think by cultivating this consistent gratitude practice, you're building a reservoir of positivity that you can draw on when times get tough.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
And as we transition into the final part
Okay.
of our deep dive, we'll explore those practical strategies for making gratitude a sustainable habit.
Awesome.
A way of life that permeates every aspect of your experience.
Looking forward to that.
Great.
Welcome back. We've been talking about all the benefits of gratitude journaling.
Yes.
And how it connects with CBT.
Right.
So let's talk about, like, you know, now you're journaling, but how do you make gratitude a part of your everyday life?
Yeah, that's an important step.
Outside of the journal.
It is.
So how do we do that?
One effective way is to create what we call gratitude rituals throughout your day.
What is a gratitude ritual?
These are just small intentional acts that help us pause and savor the good, no matter how busy life gets.
Could you give me some examples?
Yeah, of course.
Like, what would that look like?
So they can be incredibly simple.
Okay.
It could be starting your day by expressing gratitude for a warm shower or a comfortable bed, or taking a moment to appreciate the taste of your morning coffee, the sound of birds singing outside your window.
It's about, like, being more present.
It is.
Yeah.
Noticing those little things.
Instead of just, like, rushing through your day on autopilot.
And as you move through your day, look for opportunities to express gratitude to others.
Okay.
A genuine thank you to the barista who made your coffee, or a compliment to a colleague on their work.
Yeah.
Or a phone call to a friend just to tell them you appreciate them.
It's like bringing other people in.
It is.
Yeah.
Making gratitude an active part of your interactions.
Okay, so I like that.
Okay.
What about
using challenges as opportunities to cultivate gratitude?
Okay, now that sounds a little tricky.
It can be.
How do you find things to be grateful for when you're, like, going through something tough?
Well, it's not about denying the difficulty or pretending that everything is fine.
Right.
It's about shifting your perspective.
Okay.
And looking for those glimmers of good that might be hidden beneath the surface.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say you're stuck in traffic and you're feeling frustrated.
Happens all the time.
Instead of dwelling on the delay, you might take a moment to appreciate the music that's playing on the radio, or the fact that you have a comfortable car to sit in. Or maybe use that time to call a loved one and connect.
It's like finding that silver lining.
It is, exactly.
Yeah.
And with practice, this becomes more than just a coping mechanism.
Okay.
It becomes a way of life, a way of approaching the world with an open heart and a grateful spirit.
I like that a lot.
Good.
So we've talked about the how of gratitude. Right. What about the when?
Okay.
Like, how do we make it a habit?
Right.
Because I know a lot of people start with good intentions,
Yeah.
but they struggle to keep it up.
That's a common challenge.
Yeah.
One helpful strategy is to link your gratitude practice to an existing habit.
Okay.
For example, you might journal while you're having your morning coffee,
Right.
or express gratitude for 3 things before you go to sleep each night.
So you're just like, attaching it to something you already do.
Exactly.
Okay. And there's also, in our research, we saw a lot about using reminders and apps.
Those can be helpful tools.
Yeah. To help you stay on track.
Especially when you're first starting out.
Okay.
But as you cultivate this practice, you might find that gratitude starts to integrate itself more organically into your life.
You just start noticing it.
Yeah, you begin to notice those moments naturally without needing a reminder.
Awesome.
And that's what we're ultimately aiming for.
Okay.
A life infused with gratitude. A life where we're able to see the beauty and the good, even in the midst of challenges.
I love that. And I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Yeah, me too.
We've explored the science, the techniques, the practical applications of gratitude journaling.
It's been a pleasure diving into this with you.
Likewise. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
How can you make gratitude a more conscious and intentional part of your life starting today? What small changes can you make? What rituals can you create?
Yeah.
And who can you express your gratitude to right now?
Love it.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration. Until next time, keep diving deep.